So this will be my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Pretty much an overview of everything that I liked about the movie. Pretty much the interactions with Lang and Hope was pretty cool. I like how they kind of had more of a relationship this time than the first movie. Although in the first movie they kind of they were introduced to each other. But it was interesting that this movie, they had that dynamic. And it definitely worked for the characters, the on-screen performances of Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly. I really like the progression that they did from the first movie to the second movie with Lang. I think he's a funny character. He's a cool superhero. I think he's one of the better Marvel superheroes. And I thought they really adapted him well from the first movie to the second. Pretty much the same character. I thought that was cool. They didn't really change a lot, so I thought that was good. I really like the element that they included more of the quantum realm in this. If you're into like physics or quantum mechanics, you pretty much would be interested in this kind of stuff. It was very interesting, and they had the little creatures that are supposed to be like real. They're supposed to be like creatures like these that are really small and tiny, like we can't even see them. So I thought that was an interesting element to kind of add realistic things to fantasy and fiction stories. I like the veteran work of Lawrence Fishburne as Goliath. Those of you that read the comics, you pretty much know there was a character named Goliath who was like 21, 22 feet high. And of course, they transitioned Hope's character more in this movie, which I thought was good. She's definitely like a cool superhero. And then, of course, Michelle Pfeiffer, veteran actress, definitely brought a lot to the table. I really like the element of Ghost in this character. I think that Ghost was a really cool villain. She was just trying to pretty much save herself. I like that idea. She wasn't trying to destroy the world or really do much. She was just trying to save herself, and I liked her powers. I like how they told her origin story and all that, and I think she was a very formidable opponent. A very formidable opponent for the Wasp and Ant-Man. I really like the progression of the costumes for the movie. I really like the Ghost costume. I like the two different versions of the Ant-Man costume. They had kind of an updated version which wasn't working really well. And then he had the original costume. And of course the Wasp costume was really cool. I actually liked how they progressed the relationship between Lang and his daughter in the sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you read the comics, she pretty much becomes a superhero. There are rumors that she will be a superhero in Avengers 4. This is actually the character that she becomes. The character is called Stature. She pretty much has the powers of what Ant-Man has to become a bigger stature, bigger size. So we'll see if that happens in Avengers Infinity War Part 2. For those of you that did pay attention, it looks like Michelle Pfeiffer in the mid-credits scene pretty much set up Avengers 4. It looks like Lang, aka Ant-Man, is going to go into a time vortex and pretty much prevent Thanos from doing the Infinity Wars thing. So that's going to be interesting. But that was cool that they set that up. I think a lot of people thought that Infinity War would be a certain way, but for Ant-Man to be able to set up events in the Infinity War Part 2, I don't think people really saw that coming. I think that was a secret that the Marvel Studios held back, and so a lot of people are probably really excited about it. So it's interesting. I think that the Ant-Man movies, they're kind of more, not as popular, and I think that's cool to bring them to the mainstream Marvel movies. They kind of need it, in my opinion. Overall, you pretty much have, comedy, action, everything you need in a sequel. Those of you that watched the original Ant-Man, like me, you pretty much know that, this movie definitely delivered. These movies aren't as popular as the regular Marvel movies, and I like that they aren't, because it kind of makes them even that much more great with story and characters and stuff. And they can do more. They don't have high expectations from the studios. So I think that's good. This movie I thought was way more funny than the first one. I mean, I was pretty much laughing through most of the movie. A lot of funny scenes, a lot of interactions. That scene where he found out his desk was like nothing, like they got it at a garage sale, I thought that was funny. That was one of the funny moments. And then when he was going down the hill he was giant size and he was going down the hill in the truck, I thought that was funny. He was like just kicking it along like it was a toy. I thought that was funny.